That's lovely.
Cappuccino. Devon, I've got to say, when I saw you this morning, I was over the moon because I remember growing up wanting to play cricket, and I remember back in 1990 seeing you demolish the West Indies. Now, as a young guy, I always sort of used to think, like most people did, the West Indies are the best team in the world. They got the fastest bowlers. Then you came along, and I remember this well. You took 3 and 4 balls, and there were no Muppets either. I think you took the wicket of Haynes, Carlisle Best, Jeffrey Dujon.
Yeah.
You skittled them. And from that day, you were like a legend of mine. And I just can't believe that I'm here talking to you now. But another great performance that I want to talk about, because this is something that a lot of people probably seen on the back of your shirt, is those figures 9 for how many? Tell me.
9 for 57.
Now,
But yeah,
tell us the story, because I'll be interested to hear your side of it.
I will tell you the story, but I wouldn't say Kittle, the mighty West Indies at my first war in 1990. But it was a nervous time because, as you mentioned, those West Indies guys, they were top of their game, and you know. So remember in Trinidad, I took the 3 for 3. West Indies were clawing back in the game, and I took 3 wickets in 1 over, and England got back in the game, and we should have won that game as well, you know, in Trinidad to pull the series. England would have been 2-0 up in the series, and we wouldn't have lost the series. But the weather cost us that. But yeah, mate, I probably looked very confident there. But there was this guy in the West Indies team again, the mighty Viv Richards. Boy, he wasn't backing off. I mean, this as a fast bowler, you normally, you know, probably intimidates a batsman. But Viv Richards was one of those batsmen that intimidate bowlers, and he intimidated me at that stage. But yes, it was a good series for me then. But as you say, back to the more current things later on in my career, as you mentioned, the 9 for 57. Quite a while back, actually, 1994. Yes, the first time South Africa came back into international cricket since the apartheid days, and it was a 3-test match series. I was left out of the first 2. South Africa won the first game with a huge margin. I remember at Lords. Played the second test match at Leeds. There was a draw, but the first one, as I said, South Africa won by a large margin. And we were 1-0 down, so this call came back.
Yeah.
We need a match winner. Bring back Devon Malcolm. So I was thinking, why wasn't I called off for the first 2 test matches? But anyway, you know, I went out to, you know, in the first innings, actually, I bowled pretty quickly. I ball at John T. Rhodes, sorry, was the batter. I held the ball cross seam, the ball skidded, hit John T. Rhodes at the high side of the helmet. He had helmet on, ended up in hospital overnight. But just to push it on a little bit, I came into bat, and I could hear all the South Africans slip cord in field. I said to the bowler, was Fanny de Villiers, come on, give him a bouncer. He hit one of our guys. Was straight in my head at the time. I thought, oh, this is the biggest bluff ever. Because there was this unwritten rule. Think about how many years ago you bowl your fellow fast bowlers, bounces you, but not the first ball. The first ball you normally pitch it up.
Not to a tail ender.
Not to
11
not to a tail 11. The first ball you normally pitch up. So I said, okay, Fanny de Villiers definitely going to be bowling me a Yorker here.
Yeah.
I'm there waiting for the Yorker. Fanny de Villiers ran up and bowled the most perfect bouncer. I just managed to win. Hit me on the 3 lines right between the eyes and cracked my helmet and all that business. And I could see all the guys in the slips card and just looking around and kind of shuffling. And I keep saying, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I said to the slip card, you shouldn't have done that. If you guys really wanted to know what fast bowling is about, wait till you guys come into bat. I said, all you guys are going to be history. But, and you know what? I faced a few more balls. I got out. Said to the guys, come on, you heard what I said, we're going to have a battle here. But ever I wanted to send that message out to the South Africans that I really meant business. That very first ball of the second innings, the ball pitched exactly where I wanted it. The ball went through at the right pace. Kirsten just managed to get his head out of the way. The ball thumps into the wicket keeper, was Steve Rhodes, wicket keeper for England then, in the glove. The crowd went up. I was bowling from the pavilion, I remember, and I could see all the South African guy ran out towards the front to have a look. I said, Other boys, you're going to be in here in a hurry.
Yeah.
Few balls later, I got Kirsten out with two brothers, both Kirstins. And the second over, probably got Gary Kirsten as well, going for a hook. And every time I, get out there to bowl, I just taking wicket. My first spell, I probably took 3 for none.
Yeah.
And I just keep going on and taking wickets after wickets, after wickets, and wickets. And it was just one of those days, everything clicked. All the catches were taken, all my teammates were behind me, and also the crowd was just amazing.
Yeah.
But one thing I must say though is, looking back on the footage, I didn't even realize, when I turn, walked up, I get to my mark, turn, ready to bowl, I didn't realize every stride I made, the crowd, the crowd was getting louder and louder. I didn't hear that. Ooh, and the crowds were getting louder. And when I run into bowl, it was pure silence. All I could see was the batsman at the other end. I only heard the crowd at the end of the over when I go to third man or fine leg. But as I said, turning and running into ball, pure silence. So I must have been in the zone that day.
You were in the zone.
I must have been in there. If that's it, I heard sport people talk about the zone. I promise you there's a zone, because if there was a zone, I was in it that day. And it was just amazing, taking wickets after wickets, and ended up taking 9 wickets.
Yeah.
Nine for 57. At the time, it was the 6th best bowling analysis in the history of cricket, and it was taken many a time by spin bowlers. But funny enough, you mentioned that game in Trinidad where I took those 3 wickets. And let me tell you how this story linked now.
Okay.
And it's amazing you mentioned that. But when I took all those wickets, I remember Michael Atherton, he was the England captain, his first test match. And he came up to me when we were going off, and he slapped me on the bum and said, Dev, I don't believe, I will ever see a single player dominate a game as much as you do in this game. And I turned on to him and said, Athers, that's what I called him. I said, this won't mean a thing, mate. And I'm going to tell you how your link with Trinidad came back. At that game in Trinidad, I actually took 11 wickets in that game.
Yeah.
I had my first man of the match for England in that game. But guess what? We didn't win the game. Slow over rate and the weather and all that business. So I said to Athers, I said, mate, this won't mean a thing to me. Unless you guys get out there, knock the runs off and win the game, that's when it would mean something to me.
Yeah.
They went out, they knocked the runs off. We won this game, draw the series 1-0, and all of a sudden, bang, I said, this really means something. So, and as I mentioned as well, I said, I went in to be, to get man of the match, man of the series as well. And in that year as well, I was the following year was one of the Wisden cricketers of the year. So
That's
it was one of those performance that people still remember how many years on.
Do
see?
you find as a bowler, especially a quick bowler, because there's so much to it, isn't it? I mean, it's the run up, the accuracy, the way you feel, the way you land. Do you feel that once you deliver that first ball of your spell, you know if it's going to be a good day and a good spell?
I mean, I just felt it from before I left the changing room. My teammates used to come on, Dev, what you said to those guys, make sure it happened.
Yeah.
But even if you see the first wicket I took, the caught and bowl, the follow through, the rhythm, everything was down there because, it would normally in a game like that, it would be the man at bat pad who have taken that catch. But I was following through and I took I was there taking the bat pad catch.
You just in the zone.
I was in the zone. Everything will follow
Like
through.
you said, you didn't hear the crowd because I you remember it when you see a fast bowler coming in, and usually of course at that time it was always Western.
Yeah.
A big bird or whoever running in holding, and the crowd was behind. But to see it, an Englishman doing it to the crowd, and you dishing out the same sort of punishment that a lot of English batters use was quite amazing.
Yeah, it was.
That 1990 you talked about, it's quite interesting. I mean, we're on here on that in a few days' time on Friday would actually be 36 years ago. You did.
Really?
36 years.
36
to
years?
the day.
Wow.
To the day.
See, look at that. It's crazy.
And can I just say, seeing you bowl out there, of course, you played for, you don't often see that bowl for the Canadian Masters and also for Norfolk stuff, but you still got it.
Well, yeah, you're very kind, mate. I don't know, but
Listen, you can ask the wicket keeper.
Yeah.
You hear him?
I hit the wicket keeper on the head, but I should be the batsman. But no. Look, I'm a lover of cricket, man, and I said this, the Malta Senior Cricket Tournament here, And I came across just for a few days, because I know, there's cricket lovers all over the world. And as you see, keep saying, I've went out and played for a few overs, 3 overs for the Canadian team and Norfolk team as well. I used to play cricket when I retired anyway. I played pretty close by. I played for Suffolk in the minor county leagues. And all these guys are cricket fans. And funny enough, I'm here and all these guys from Canada been watching cricket like yourself. You were talking when you're a young man watching cricket. And these guys are talking as if we're friends. Every ball I bowl, he keeps saying, we used to love you, bowling against Viv Richards and all the games. And I keep saying, gee, and they're telling me stories I forgot about. And I keep saying, all right, just like you reminding me of taking those 3 wickets in Trinidad is something I first, I said, what are you talking about? I said, all right, I just remember, it just came back to my head. Yes,
It's hardly surprising. I think at the time you were one of the fastest bowlers in the world. You played for Derbyshire and then you finished with Leicestershire, Phil, and you took over 1,000 first-class wickets, which was quite amazing. But tell us, the viewers, where did and how did the young Devon Malcolm get into it?
Yeah, I mean, you can tell again. I was born in Jamaica. My dad is the Windrush generation. He came to England way back in the mid '60s to help Mother England, to help rebuild and all that business. And I lost my mom when I was 6 years old, really. So I was brought up with my grandparents in Jamaica. But as in the Caribbean, the lifestyle, the weather, like most places, doing sports, whether it's cricket, football, athletics, mate, if it's a game of marbles, you participate. So any sports going as young kids do, you participate, you just always run around, the lifestyle, you're fit, you're strong. So I just naturally loved cricket when I was growing up. So when I joined my dad, as a teenager back in Sheffield, I didn't even play cricket, but I came up as a student, not as a cricketer. Because you know what it's like in African, Caribbean, South Asian communities, a lot of communities, when it comes to sports, education is key. So, if I was in the Caribbean, there's no way I'd probably be a professional cricketer because first start, education is I'd probably be a policeman or a teacher or something like that. And I came to England to join my dad in Sheffield. Didn't play cricket. I was going to college. Didn't play cricket for a couple of years. And all of a sudden, the mighty West Indies again were playing because the guys in Sheffield love football. So I just play football. That's what they do. So I just play football with my mates and, took me introduced me to a cricket club. And I said, asked me if I play cricket mainly because the West Indies were touring. I said, yeah, I used to play when I was in Jamaica. Took me to a cricket club and this guy said, have a ball. I told him I can bowl. And the ball was whizzing through. Muscle memory from a youngster coming through. And he said, who you play for? I said, my mate don't play cricket. So I said, you're joking. So I get, fast track to a Sheffield.
You do now, they say.
Yes, you do now. So they fast tracked me to a club called Sheffield Caribbean. Played there for a while. Did well. So I could bowl quickly. And all of a sudden, bang, I'm playing in the Yorkshire League, I finished for Sheffield United Cricket Club, the Yorkshire League. But Yorkshire League cricket was the strongest in Yorkshire. You got guys like Jeff Boycott, all the county sides, county teams playing in the leagues. And 1994, I was selected in the Yorkshire League 11 versus Yorkshire County Cricket Club. I was at college. So 1984, playing against Yorkshire. There was a League 11, Select 11 versus Yorkshire County Cricket Club. It was played at a club in Yorkshire, in Castleford. I was selected. Opening the batting, Martin Moxon, Jeff Boycott, the great Jeff Boycott. First over, a clean ball, Martin Moxon made a Yorker. Second over, same fate happened to Mr. Boycott. Knocked his stump. I clean ball him, end up taking about 3 wickets. And for the first time in the league history, the Yorkshire League 11 actually beat Yorkshire County Cricket Club in the pre-season game. The coach at Derbyshire saw it, traveled all the way to Sheffield. We were practicing on the Saturday. Said, young man, are you the guy who bought Boycott? Said, yes. I said, could you pop to Derby for a trial on the Monday? And I said to him, no, sir, I can't. I said, I already nicked Friday off college to play against Yorkshire. I said, my dad will kill me. He said, I can't tell him that I'm going to take 2 days off college to go play cricket. And he said, no, you come for a trial. Went, and the rest is history, mate. You have, you got to be at the right place at the right time, but you have to back it up with a bit of talent. So straight away, I went to Derby for the trial, and the rest is history, mate. Clean ball boycott on the Friday. No academy, nothing at all. I was a pro on the Monday. And the rest is history. I went on to represent Derbyshire, qualified over 10 years. Next, I played for Derbyshire over 10 years. Next, represented England, 89. And ended up, as you mentioned in the introduction earlier on, taking over 1,000 first-class wickets. And it was one of those things, So as I said, be at the place at the right time, have a bit of luck, but not only luck, you have to work on things and have a bit of talent in the background. So that's how, in a nutshell, that's how.
My next question was going to be a very long career, and create some highs and lows.
Yes, definitely.
And of course, you got the talent, and there's always this saying, isn't there, that that talent is there. Form can come and go.
Yeah.
But how hard do you have to work behind the scenes to maintain your fitness? Because bowling fast, and especially when you put so much effort into it, the whole body feels it. I mean, it's just tough going, right?
It is tough going. Fast bowling is the toughest job out there, I promise you. And as I said, I played with no major injury over, almost 20 years. And your lifestyle, your fitness. Or just to take, for example, you mentioned, as a fast bowler running in, every time you slam that front leg down, you've got 10 times your body weight shocking coming up through your body. And whatever you see are the amount of overs I bowl on the field to take over 1,000 first-class wicket, I probably do 6 times that in the nets.
Yeah.
You understand?
And
so the practice, the lifestyle, go ahead, and all the things.
Say the other point is, of course, a lot of people probably can't relate to that so much these days because there's so much technology there to help. In those days, let's face it, most cricketers, and even the good cricketers, weren't athletes. And so that was one thing. It was very easy to go down the path of, not looking after your body. But also, you didn't have the technology and the coaches to say, look, watch yourself here. This is what you're doing wrong. This is what your body's wrong.
Yes.
You had to do that all yourself.
All yourself. Exactly that. And I said, it's a good thing, brought up in Jamaica, good lifestyle. And I brought that, the continuum over here. And you talk about the technology now.
Yeah.
I mean, I must admit, though, I was glad just from my first trip back to Jamaica, that when I went back to play against the West Indies, that's the first time I went back since I left as a youngster, as a teenager. And Graham Bush took over then in 1990. And I didn't realize he just lifted. So when you see cricket and the technology, especially in English cricket, Graham Bush started that. Yes, we didn't have the amount of backroom staff and all that business, but the fitness regime and all that business, we had to do our various tests and all that business. And I realized playing in county cricket, I was fit enough to county cricket, but the level of training and fitness and working on certain part of your games during the winter months of the Caribbean, no wonder we did well. And at my personal self, you train hard, you prepare mentally, you're going to believe, okay, the West Indies far superior cricket than we are because of their record. Tell you that. But you know what? The preparation and the fitness and all that business and certain things we start looking at, I thought, look, I had a remit as a strike bowler. I thought I was prepared enough to take on or to bowl against Viv Richards, you name it, Greenwich, Haynes, absolutely magnificent cricketers. So in my mind it was. But what I do say as well, you talk about the real technology, analysis and all that business. My analysis, our analysis then was, like you're watching, you play a home series, and the recordings, probably Sky was doing the cricket then, or on BBC, BBC. Normally, it all depends how well you bowl in a game.
Yeah.
So you go and look on the highlights. You could look on the highlights package, and every ball is disappearing to the boundary. So you only go and look on that when you take a few wickets. And, you go in a game playing against, as you mentioned, the mighty West Indies, and Graham will throw you the ball. My job is to take wickets, and that's it. I have to get in the tool pan, all the practice I've done to find the ball, the speed I'm going to bowl the ball to get Viv Richards out, or Greenwich, or Haynes.
Yeah.
You understand? Although, I was probably going at 4 runs and over. That was my remit. I have to attack. Graham Goose give me the ball. Look, I have to strike. My job is here to take wickets. Angus Fraser was the other end. He hold that up. He goes at 2 and over, but he just here to hold her. And the other bowlers go 2 and in, 2 and but I'm the striker. I'm the cobra. I have to be striking. I'm here taking wickets. So although I was taking wickets and all that business, but yeah. But nowadays, if you watch these guys play one-day cricket or test cricket, a batsman walk in and the field automatically adjust the move.
Right,
you understand? Because they have all the analysis. Matter of fact, even on this game that's been played here now in Malta, they've got analysts here. They can tell players where players are strong and all that business. I have to work that out myself. You understand? I have to work. The game has changed because sport has changed a lot. Yeah, the sport has definitely changed a lot with the analysis. Every ball been played in first class cricket, test cricket, whatever, been recorded, and guys can look on the computer, work out where a batsman is strong, where ball is ball and all that on both sides. So yeah, the technology does help quite a lot now. Yeah.
We've talked about some amazing performances from yourself already, but I'm keen to ask if that performance in 1990 or that in the one we looked at, the 957-94, is that the highlight? Would you say that's your best performance, or is there another performance out there that you feel, well actually, you know what, though most people remember that one, there's another?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the game in Trinidad where I took the 3 wickets in the game in 1 over to get back in the match. That's I took 11 wickets in that game, I believe. The one at the Oval, I took 10 wickets in that game. The Oval is not the quickest I've bowled. I bowled quick against against Australia at the Oval a few years before that. I bowled quicker in Perth. And again, as I said, the luck got to be on your side as well. I remember playing a test match at Perth. And I had so many catches put down, and these things need to happen. But I mean, as highlights wise, because people remember that, and a lucky thing, mate, if you wanted, I could have go through this ball by ball, those 9 wickets, understand, if you wanted. But yeah, it was one of those memory-making moments for people who love the game of cricket. But funny enough, with technology as well, I'm talking to youngsters, and the first comment, you used to bowl really quick. That 9 for 57, I keep saying, what are you talking about? What do you know about that? What YouTube and all that business? Their dads or their granddad, I said, look, have a look at this. That's that dude. And they come talking to me as if they know they were there as well. I keep saying, wow, it lives on. So it was one of the memory-making moments.
It's because it's a story, isn't it? The whole story. The bit about you being hit on the lid, the bit about you turning back to the slip call and saying, you guys are history, and then performing the way you did is amazing. Look, I could talk to you forever and ever, but I just want to say that being here, seeing you in Malta, I know you've got an early flight tomorrow. It's a shame you're not around for a bit longer, but you certainly made my day. You made the day of a lot of the players that you played with.
You're very kind. Cheers.
It's an absolute pleasure. You're a legend, mate.
But you know what? I was saying, just in case you want some footage, I love the game of cricket. Cricket is one thing that it's a serious melting pot, bring everything in. And although I'm here at the moment, I took time out. What I do now, you understand, I do some work for the ECB, trying to regenerate the love for cricket from the African Caribbean communities in schools in England. There's been a massive drop-off, but we've got the formats, I feel, to help cricket grow. We talk about, probably yourself, you speak like a purist. I'm a purist. I love test cricket. But with these different formats, 20, 100 balls and all that business, designed to attract the younger generation. And I can use that to get the young people to get into cricket. There's a lot of money in there, young people, for cricket. You get well rewarded, and cricket is an absolutely fantastic sport.
It is great, and it's on the way back. It's a way
as well for the youngsters. To the youngsters.
It's great to see so many women playing sport as well.
Women and girls cricket is massive, a growth area. So all of that, so absolutely fantastic. I hope that's okay.
Oh yeah.
You got some good cricket stories.
Very good, very good.
Especially
you get Colin Kraft and you get a whole bunch of stories.
Oh yeah.
Are you heading back? No, he's going to be.
No, I'm going back tomorrow morning. Yeah. I just popped down just to do this. Just to do this for you guys. I'm heading back tomorrow morning. Because I know this, you guys are cricket lovers across the world, but funny enough, coming here, sitting down with you guys, and you guys talking about the cricket, I keep saying, wow, you're talking about cricket stories or some of the players. I used to be scared to bowl against, like Viv Richards and Lara, Tendulkar and all. It's great to see. I'm a massive lover of cricket, and it's just great to walk on the field you know, with guys who supported cricket all these times. You understand? When I used to play at the top level, I wouldn't have the opportunity to meet you guys, talk to you, walk on the same field with you. So this for me is saying thank you for all the support you give to myself and cricket over the years. And you had some good stories. Some of the guys who I used to, when I first started, scared to bowl against. Guys like Viv Richards, you wouldn't believe it, a fast bowler. Batsmen terrifies fast bowlers as well. Viv Richards were one of those, you understand? Playing against guys like Brian Lara and Sachin Tendulkar. Sachin Tendulkar as well, he was 17 and a half. His maiden test century at Old Trafford. I bowled in that game after coming back from the West Indies, cleaning up Viv Richards, some of the best batters in the world. And the little 17-year-old took his maiden test century, and I said, young man, I believe you're going to be a good cricketer when you grow up. I wasn't far wrong, okay? He went on to be one of the most fantastic batsmen. So, yeah, it's great, guys. Enjoy your tournament. And, you know, I'm a lover of cricket. I don't mind putting on the Canadian cap for the first time. And a lot of these guys, I used to play cricket. I play for Suffolk, so which is pretty close. So we probably cross. A matter of fact, see my club cricketers here. Dunstall. Yeah, and Dunstall play cricket together in Derbyshire. You know, although you were in the second team, but no problem.
We're going to go over that.
Yeah, no, we got about it. No, but anyway, guys, enjoy this and enjoy your cricket, enjoy the rest of the trip, and continue to love cricket and spread the good words. And also, I know it's a Masters tournament, but you got to remember, you know, we are parents, grandparents and parents. My role now is to encourage young people to play cricket, because without, you know, seeding and encouraging the young generation to play cricket with all these different formats, cricket is a very lucrative game now. So a lot of times I'm working with young people and they said, Dev, are you rich? I said, no, the current players are, you know, because of 2020 cricket and all that business. And if that's one of the reasons, young people want instant gratification at times. And I said, yeah, cricket is a really rich these days, just a good career. And not even if you don't play, there's a lot of administration jobs and things involved in cricket. Enjoy the rest of the trip, guys, and thank you.